Hey, welcome back to another edition of DevHub Live. I am your host, Joe from DevHub. We have an exciting live episode back today. I know we took some time off last week. Uh, we are talking a lot about the developer ecosystem, a lot of the news that has come up. The past month has been jam-packed with stuff. So I really want to take some time and kind of go over all of this with you. One of the announcements that we made recently was actually the change to the RPC providers by Pagoda, which is no longer exists, as well as by near.org and kind of some of the changes that have been there. We announced that back in May, leading into the beginning of June, and we have since started to see some deprecation from that into now needing external services, not relying on the free ones from near.org anymore. I thought it'd be really appropriate and a great time to bring back. Well, actually, I don't think Lava was ever on this show. So we've had Lava on actual other shows before, never DevHub Live. So I'm really excited. I have Justina, and she's going to come and talk about what's going on there and what does Lava actually offer. If you haven't actually checked it out before, I'm definitely would think you're going to want to check it out after you see that. But let's let her kind of go through all of that. Justina, thanks for joining the show today.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for having me. So excited to be part of this live stream. I am personally a really big fan of Near developer ecosystem. So to join you guys today is definitely a great opportunity. And yeah, really excited to tell you a little bit more about Lava, what Lava is, and also how Lava is supporting Near builder ecosystem.
Yep.
Especially as you just mentioned, in light of Near deprecating the near.org endpoints and what Lava has to offer to support the Near developer ecosystem in terms of providing the RPC.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for you to kind of go through this. So you yourself are a developer relations engineer over at Lava, and so you understand the needs here of developers, and that's what we really want to get across. So this is not necessarily a sales pitch per se. This is about, hey, this is what developers can come and use, and what's available to them. So I think that's really an exciting piece. So let's kind of start with really high level, just so people can kind of get caught up. What exactly is Lava, and why is it a little bit different than other RPC providers?
Yeah, so Lava is and foremost is a blockchain which provides any type of Web3 user, um, including any kind of dApp, AI agent. It can be a wallet and indexer or any other Web3 user that needs access to a blockchain data. And it provides a decentralized RPC and API access to every blockchain. So you can think of Lava as a coordination layer that routes the traffic. So on one hand, with Lava, you have an RPC provider community, multiple providers that are servicing each chain. And on the other hand, you have all of the developers, all of the dApps, agents that need access to that data. And the Lava network coordinates and routes the traffic so that users that need access to data get connected to the best providers out there. It ensures that users have always high uptime access to data, that RPC doesn't budge under load. And if one provider has an issue, if there is something going on, if they go down, there is another provider that Lava will automatically connect the application to. So this is really the core. And there are a few additional pieces about Lava's underlying infrastructure that I will just quickly highlight. This is a very simplified view. Of course, there are a lot of details, but Lava supports a number of different chains, testnets, and mainnets, and it's actually very easy to add a specific blockchain to Lava. All it takes is creating what we call spec, or a specification file, which is a very simple JSON file that includes all of the specifications, all of the parameters of how to define an API connection for a specific chain. And the best part about that is that chains themselves, they can actually sponsor incentivized pools for their chains, which then allows them to onboard developers faster and also ensure that those developers are serviced by high quality providers at Lava. And as a result, Lava is then able to offer RPC access as a public good. It's free, it's open to everyone. And also providers that are servicing those RPC requests, they are rewarded for their performance. And performance is really a very important part of what Lava is focusing on. The provider community at Lava, as I mentioned, it's not just one provider, it's a decentralized network. So we have permissionless way for anyone to become RPC provider at Lava. And different providers are servicing specific chains. And as I have mentioned previously, if there is some kind of a problem with one provider, then the requests are routed to another one. And also how a specific request is paired with a provider depends on quite a few different parameters, but the key ones are latency, geolocation, and so on, because Lava Network aims to optimize the performance for all of the users. So to make sure that dApps, AI agents, whatever user wants to access the data, that they get it in a fast and a reliable way. So
Yeah, I want to kind of pause right there. I think this is a really important fact, and what differentiates you guys from other RPC providers. So you are not hosting all of the infrastructure for the actual RPC endpoints. You are the orchestration layer for all of this, which is, I think, is an important piece. And secondarily, I'm actually a user. My side project actually uses Lava. And what you guys have done really well is if a particular RPC provider is not doing well and not getting enough throughput, your orchestration has gotten really good at moving away from that and not having the developer experience any downtime, which I think is huge.
Exactly. Yeah. The developer experience and high uptime are really the key things that we are trying to optimize for with Lava. And as you can see at number 4 here, Lava constantly monitors the performance of the providers. And the way it's done is that data consumers, they automatically send back the performance data in terms of latency, uptime, availability, and all of these metrics are actually recorded on chain. And then based on that performance, specific provider is either then matched with, is exposed to more traffic if they are performing great, or less traffic if it's the different situation. So yeah, it's very important for us to make sure that developers have the best experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You also mentioned here, so there is no cost. So you're essentially providing it as a public good. Uh, and I don't want to put you too much on the spot here. Where did this concept come from? Because it's very easy to look at other previous providers and just any infrastructure, not just in Web3, and look at the SaaS model of some kind and say, like, that is the path forward. Where does this come from and why this decision?
Yeah, so the RPC endpoints that are offered as a public good is the intention of Lava to contribute to Web3 developer community and enable blockchains that want to provide RPC access for their chains. So basically, to open up those doors, make it easier, and as I mentioned, maybe I'll just switch to a different slide now. Incentivized pools is really the key for making all of this happen. Because the way it works is that blockchains, actually Near is one of those chains, they can sponsor the RPC pools. So basically they add funds into an incentivized pool on Lava. And all of those funds are then distributed to providers and other network contributors on Lava who are providing the RPC access. And the RPC itself, the access for RPC is then offered to developers completely for free and in a open manner. I will show the endpoints. It's like you don't even have to sign up anywhere to access the endpoints.
So yeah, that's a pretty neat part of that too. And so there's really no commitment on the developer side to get started. It's simply like here's the endpoint, get going. For those who want to maybe try to earn some of those incentives, uh, is as simple as if I'm already running a node, I can just now sign up to basically have my node as part of this offering.
Exactly. Yes. So to become Lava RPC provider, yeah, you need to run, for example, near node. You can run archival node, even better. And then there is a little small process to configure Lava RPC provider process, so that basically all of those metrics that I've mentioned previously that are monitored for providers in terms of performance, so that they can be written on Lava blockchain, and from there you are good to go, and you're basically a Lava RPC provider. So it really is fairly
Easy.
simple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Straightforward. Great. So how do maybe I'm stepping on your next slide or anything, but like, so how do people get started?
Yeah, so just quickly, I will just also mention that, of course, we have been collaborating with Near for a while. And as I have mentioned, there is incentivized RPC on Lava for Near developer ecosystem already. And just some stats to show, there are almost 12 billion relays that Lava RPC provider serviced for Near developers. And we have 38 providers at the moment, so it's actually a big number, and they are all servicing Near RPC. So it ensures that definitely you have high uptime and reliable access to RPC. And here are the details about the RPC itself. So it's live, it's available. You can access Near mainnet, testnet with full archival support. There is no setup required. You don't have to sign up anywhere. It has no rate limits under 30 requests per second. If I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe compared to the current Near endpoints, it's about like 15 times faster. So I think it's a pretty substantial offering for developers, and hopefully they can continue building their applications in a really effective way, completely free, open, and also actively maintained by Lava team, and also our active community, which includes developers, providers, validators. So everyone is looking after access for RPC. So if something happens, we are always pretty quick to identify and address anything that needs to be fixed, but it doesn't really happen often. To get started and to go ahead and use Lava RPC for Near is really as simple as just grabbing these endpoints and using them. So for mainnet, very simple, near.lava.build. For testnet, just add a T at the end, near t.lava.build. You can also find all of these details as well on the Lava documentation, and just plug it into your application, your wallet, AI agent, whatever you're building, and you're good to go. Really, it's just as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you guys have made it really, really straightforward and simple here. And even like I think just from a user standpoint, I, as a developer, do not have to do anything different. It is the same RPC setup. So whatever my calls I make to any other RPC, there is nothing other unique here. Just same and straightforward way.
Exactly, and also I will mention that this it's one endpoint that basically allows you to enter this little ecosystem of RPC providers that Lava has. So everything, all of that routing to specific provider based on performance happens under the hood, but then the end user only has to have one endpoint, and you're good to go.
Nice. So one of the things that I think is unique and near here is that the chain abstraction, chain signature is really pretty robust. So there are people who are building multi-chain starting from near. You guys support multiple chains. So now as a developer, I could use Lava for all of my calls, correct?
Exactly. Yeah, this is very important point. We support, I believe, right now 18 different chains, but they all also have mainnet, testnet networks as well. So you can use Lava for accessing all of them, like including Solana, Hyperliquid, Ethereum, and other chains. And it allows you to build multi-chain applications as well. So it's exactly the same, just grabbing the endpoint and building with it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think if you are building here on near, so if you want to just use the main one, the near one that's there. If you are building multi-chain, the option is here. There are other providers. Some are different costs, whatever else. I encourage developers to check out these different options. But this one here, like just even saying, I mean, it's free. The incentives are there for those to contribute, which I think is a really, again, interesting model. And I'm just curious, as a foundation for you getting people involved and getting RPCs on board, does having that incentive layer seem to benefit, the, like you said, the uptime and the responsiveness of RPC providers? Because that's where I think sometimes hangups come up of like, hey, there's been an update, the protocol updates happened, making sure that everyone is up to date, live, running quickly, because there's an incentive for them to do so, that is tied to how many requests they put through. Correct?
Yeah, exactly. And I personally work with our RPC provider community very closely. We have a Telegram chat, we have Discord server for that, and it's a very engaged community. They have insane amount of knowledge about how to operate the nodes, how to fix issues, and so on. Because sometimes it can be a bit complicated. Let's be honest, to run some of the
Absolutely.
nodes. And they are super responsive. And you are completely right. I think the fact that they are rewarded for the work that they do, and also it's very important to mention that it costs money, right, to run the servers and operate the nodes. So the fact that they can earn rewards to offset the node cost, and also maybe even be profitable on that perspective, it
Yep.
really does contribute to their willingness and involvement into the RPC provider community, and also be very responsive to all of the updates that we have and so on. Actually, sometimes, because Lava supports so many chains, providers themselves share some new releases or upgrades that a specific chain made, and sometimes I see that information because they share those updates. So it's really great to see how collaborative it is.
Yes, I mean, it sounds like a strong community, which is definitely what you want. That's awesome.
Exactly. So yeah, really, that is what I wanted to share. Again, these endpoints are free. It's a public good. Very important to for everyone listening to take note of that. Of course, Lava has options to upgrade and get higher access rates. But today's live stream is really just about the public good and what you can do today to migrate your endpoints if you're migrating from near public endpoints. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is a great point. I mean, and I would say the majority of people building probably fit within your public offering. I mean, to need the next level, you're in a good spot anyways, where now you can talk about paying for different things because you hopefully have so much work and so much traffic through your site. Most developers, especially if you are in early stages, and a lot on near like to, because of near is still pretty cheap, they like to actually just ship right to mainnet. So sometimes too, just being able to kind of jump in, you have your RPC already set up, you don't have to think about that. uh, it's a great opportunity for all of that. So uh,
Exactly.
yeah, this is exciting, and I definitely encourage people to do that. What's the best way to reach out if they have any questions?
I would say, let me just quickly go back to my first slide. So here are all of my socials.
Perfect.
I'm available on Telegram, on Twitter as well. So you can reach out to me directly. We also have a Discord server for our community. So if you just go to lavanet.xyz, you will see all of the links to our Discord, Telegram as well, and you can tag me. You will definitely find my name there, Justina, and I will be answering all of the questions, helping out. If you have any issues with running an RPC, migrating, just let us know and we will help you out. Or if you would like to become a Lava RPC provider as well, just hit me up and I'll help you with all of the setup as well.
That's awesome. I really appreciate you coming on today, talking us through that. This is an important shift in the ecosystem, and this is a great service you guys are providing. So thank you very much for coming on today.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Mhm.
Bye. Great stuff. Really, again, we talked about this now for almost 2 months leading up to uh, getting to the point of where in June 1st, you started to see really strong deprecation of those endpoints that were already public. They're very restricted. By now, if you have not already migrated your current app, now's the time to really do it. If you are building something new, if you're working on something new, here's a nice opportunity. Even if you are building something that's AI related, that initial public opportunity, the rate limit there really should be enough for you to be able to go out, build something, test, go through all of that before you get into an actual payment thing. The goal here, right, obviously, is being able to have as much opportunity to do stuff without having to pay for it and put your money up right away. Let's talk a little bit about news. A lot of news this past month, and I think is a good time to really jump into that. So let's kind of go through some of what I feel is some of the top stories from here. So let me pull this up. All right. Look, one of the things that if you're not following along, I really encourage you to take the time and sign up for a DevHub newsletter. All these news stories have been in there. We break some of them down with some editorials sometimes. Also, too, again, if you just need more information, we have links to everything within those newsletters, and you can actually see the archive of them as well on dev.near.org. So, I encourage you to do that. One of the big things that have come out in the past month is been global contracts, and global contracts really have opened up a lot of opportunity to one, save resources, save money, but the big change here is it now allows you to actually deploy a single smart contract, which is that global contract, and any account or shard can actually make a call to it. So now you, instead of having multiple copies of the same contract, you can just have one and others can actually then leverage it, which is really a great thing. It eliminates some of the extra code and cost of storage, especially if you need to deploy the same contract a lot. Think of those factory contracts, maybe for DAOs or things like that. It's one time and that's it. It's a little bit more expensive to do the initial deployment, but the long-term cost, especially if you're deploying it, using it a lot across multiple accounts, it's really going to save you. Obviously, that logic is versioned; it's in all the same place, and it really reduces also gas overhead, not just storage as well. So I think that's a good thing. Uh, yeah, I mentioned, all right, like this is good for token standards, this is good for DAOs, things like that. Uh, this is actually in the new Near API for JavaScript. So if you are using that, that is actually available in there. That's another news story that we will get to. So it is available in there. We definitely want to hear feedback around this. So that there's still things that you would like to see, things you're unsure about, please do. Gives us some feedback around it. You can also always jump into, and this has been scrolling at the bottom of the screen, to the Near Dev support and ask questions there around that as well. Shade agents, there's been a lot of information around this. So there was the show last week was around, again, the hackathon that involves some shade agents. And so we had representatives from Proximity come on and talk about shade agents. We've had this now brought up multiple different times of how to start really building these out. What exactly though is a shade agent? And I think this is, if you haven't caught up with this, is that it's a fully on-chain AI agent framework, and it's a lot enables you to then leverage on-chain events and then also invoke the LLM within that and kind of do this all autonomously. So it's kind of just running. Doesn't have to be additional input. It can just react to different inputs that are happening uh, to the bot. So it's an autonomous bot, basically. Um, it is on chain. It allows for trustless automation. The idea here, which I think is really relevant for the long-term near developer ecosystem, is it is a great example of the integration of blockchain and blockchain compute with AI and how that all can kind of work together and be autonomous. This is again just for developers that is, if you are looking at saying, hey, how can I do a bot? How can I actually again minimize my infrastructure? How can I start to look at some different things going on? These are things that I would absolutely say to check out. Uh, you can go right now on GitHub. You can go fork these and start building your own shade agents. Again, jump into the main dev chat, and we can forward you to the right places as well. Really interested in trying to build all this stuff out. There is also some near AI working groups around this as well, so definitely check that out. A big one, Infinex. So Infinex launched with Near. They're leveraging also Near Intense, I believe. It leverages you to actually use one Near account for all different chains. Infinex is truly becoming this one-stop shop for all of your DeFi needs. It is, think of it almost like a Coinbase, but on chain, right? It has all the different things. It is a unified interface that is both an exchange, it is a wallet, it has multi-chain access. It's all the different parts of it. It's a really uh, interesting product that we really haven't seen to this extent in the DeFi space. They are leveraging near accounts for this. Uh, this is helping with bridging. They're leveraging in near intents, which is part of that as well. Lots of different things going on. There's different benefits. Absolutely check it out. It's worth just trying to learn more about different opportunities that are there and what it really is actually all about. I mentioned this a little bit. Near API.js 6.1 came out, as well as the support for Python smart contracts. The Python smart contracts is a little bit older news, but I thought it was worth bringing in here because it is now in the Create Near app template, which is now available, that can support Python contracts. 6.1 again allows for the global contract integration. So if you want to leverage global contracts, you can now do that through the API. And we also made sure that the Near API.js is leaner, so the dependencies on it are not so heavy. It's much smaller, reduces that kind of front end bundle size, which I think is always a win for developers. Also, too, if you are interested in the AI piece, if you're interested in if you're just working maybe in blockchain and Web3 and you are a Python developer, you now can easily make smart contracts and start to leverage some of the stuff. So now think of like, okay, what we just talked about with the shade agents, being able to interact with the smart contract autonomously and do different actions. Well, now I can write my smart contract in Python. So it's all these different pieces kind of coming together, which I think are really relevant for developers out there. And again, if you are using the Create Near app template, Python is now supported through there. A big one here on Near as a whole, Nern went live. It's a decentralized freelance marketplace. And why this is important is that it gives an opportunity for anyone, not just developers, but anyone who is looking to hire creatives, developers, representatives, whatever. You can post bounties, sponsorships, whatever, through Nern. reach out to, again, uh, both local talent. By local, I mean like on Near, but also outside of Near. And then for those who are already working in Near or want to and who need to find a nice entryway in, it's a great way to earn some money. There's tons of bounties kind of going up each week. Right now, the big one is the fire hose content-a-thon. So building different content there. Definitely check it out. I'm going to actually post a little banner here. Let's see, so you guys can see this. Because this is, here's where we want to go. Let's delete this. Okay. There we go, nern.io. Definitely check that out. It's really easy to get started. You just need an email. You don't necessarily need a wallet right away. You can certainly add your wallet. You can make a wallet from ever there. And again, if you are a project here on Near or you're looking for Near talent, going to Nern, posting bounties, posting sponsorships is a great way to get your listing out there. There is no cost to those who are listing. So it's a free opportunity. So it's cheaper than any job board that's out there. Definitely go check that out. It's great for all kinds of different gig work. You can pay in crypto, whatever that might be to that. If you have more questions, there is a support and everything. You can reach out through nern.io. I won't just flood the screen with a million other different groups, but you can also always go into, again, the Near Dev support group and ask, and we can point you in the right direction as always. So that's always a good starting point, is going to the Near Dev support group, and then we can actually help you go from there. One of the pieces too, so we just were talking about RPCs with Lava. One of the things that is coming up though is some chain abstraction relayers. So it's a little bit different than a RPC. The idea here is to handle the actual cross-chain calls. So it is not necessarily in RPC per se. It is, again, it is truly just an SDK that actually helps abstract away the gas management part of it, and then the transaction signing for chain signatures. There were two different winners, two different approaches from this. So we're going to see Wrath and Hot Labs each put out something related to this, and something to just keep an eye on. We will make sure that we announce when these are available for people to actually go out and use. And again, these are things that are good, are just strong things for developers in the ecosystem to start simplifying the process of getting from A to B to C with your product, and really leveraging the power of the technology here on Near. Number 7, Rainy, which is a indexer. It's a near native decentralized indexing engine. And this is, again, it has a really, what I say, I guess, priority is it actually kind of has really started to make itself more robust. Definitely check it out. It's one of those things where the alpha testnet is coming in July. The focus here about having Rainy, and I think having more indexing options, is again is important, because we announced back in, again, March, that indexing opportunities here have started to not become not the priority of like Near as an organization. It's more out to the community, out to those who want to build out these things. So I'm using Rainy as the example, as an opportunity to see, like, here, this can be built. Definitely check these type of things out. Going on. Ray of Finance released its on-chain DeFi agent, and this one is really interesting. So we on this show have had Bite on quite a few times to talk about their different agents, and Ray of Finance is actually integrating their agent, the Bite protocol agent, into it to actually have DeFi transactions. This is live. You can see this kind of synergy of these on-chain agents, along with how it would actually work in DeFi, all the stuff that we've talked about in previous episodes with BitDay and how this could all work actually is coming to life and is live in production on here. So definitely go to Ray of Finance. You can just try this out for yourself and go from there. Number 9, the wallet selector got a big update, and the big piece here, I think, for developers is one, it becomes a headless core. So now everything is plugin driven. And the benefit here, obviously, is again, less front end load. If you don't need all these different parts of it, it gives you some flexibility to really adjust the UX. It should enable those wallet providers to better iterate on what they're doing as well. And then again, the whole piece here long term is that we want options for developers, but we also want to make it easy. So you should be able to just drop something in and start building with it. I think version 9 certainly improves in that. There's going to be another version of another wallet selector out who maybe have different needs. You'll have 2 different options coming soon of which wallet selector you want to be able to use, or you could use none. But I think going to a headless plugin model really is a nice upgrade, and it really fits into the model of technical architecture you're seeing nowadays in apps. Lastly, again, there's so much more news, but this is just some of the stuff that's going on. So the PL Genesis Modular Worlds Hackathon is going on. There is a track that involves Near to build cross-chain AI-powered agents. There's about 10K in prizes. You can check that out. Again, this was in our newsletter. I'll post the link here. I believe this is the right link. Let me just double check it before I post it. And no, that's the wrong one. See if I can find the right one. But yeah, in the meantime, this is again, these are the opportunities that I think are worth checking out if you're interested in building here on Near. The reason why I say that is because hackathons give you an opportunity to go out and try some stuff out. If it goes well and you win some money, great. If you don't, hopefully you had a good experience. But there really is low risk on your part, and there's so much open and free just overall architecture right now that you don't have to build everything yourself. Like we just had lava with the RPC, which I think is important. There is also here, let me pull this up here while we're talking. Register now. There is a lot of stuff through other services that also can, I think, allow you to build faster. What's the wild link? Here, I'm just gonna make this link a little shorter. Here we go. All right, there it is. PL Genesis at devspot.app. You can go and you can check that out. There's again a lot of good prizes here. I really would encourage you to just try some of these things out, see what you can build. If you need support from it, you can always again jump into our developer chats and go from there, which I think is a really great way to kind of just get started with all this stuff. I will say if you are interested in any of this type of stuff, please join our chat. It's again at the bottom. It's an easy Telegram group. You can kind of jump in at any time. We can talk through what you're building, where you might need help. Let's kind of get into all of that. Also, too, as you can see, there has been a lot of changes recently in just our SDKs, our tooling. The team at Near Dev is doing a lot to really support that. So I do want to pull up one quick thing and just show where everyone should be checking everything out. Okay, so in our documentation, this is updated regularly. So you can go through and you can see some different things that are available here as things are getting updated. So even if I go to like what's a contract, I can go see, all right, I want to build a smart contract, and I jump into it, and you can see here, it might be kind of small on the screen, but there's JavaScript, there's Rust, and there is Python. So as we made those changes, those are all there. You can go through and learn how to build all this type of stuff. You can also see the last date when something was updated in our docs. You can just scroll to the bottom and you can see, oh, is this up to date? And most likely it will be, and you'll know that this is the most recent setup. So there's no questions wondering of like, oh, is this the most recent thing? All the tooling is linked here as well. Stuff we just talked about, like with the wallet selector, the near API, we were just talking about that, how this is all structured. Again, like this is all here nice and easy for you, how to use it, how to get it going. And again, you can see last updated, actually, yeah, it looks like today. So, I mean, that's that's how up to date a lot of this stuff is, which is, I think, really a great opportunity for developers to jump in. Oh, I'm not gonna show my screen. Great. Anyways, this is what I was showing you guys. Um, Not having anyone else on here doesn't help with that when I mess up something. Uh, so yeah, as I was saying, so everything is here. You can jump in. You can see the contract. What I was saying, the contract anatomy. There's Python, Rust, and JavaScript. And when I was talking about the last updated, it's right here at the bottom, and you can see that. So there you go. I think this is a great opportunity to keep building. Uh, I am excited as someone who's been in the ecosystem for a while of all the different things that are coming and that are being built. And there's a lot of opportunity. Even if you are not a builder, definitely check out the hackathon that is happening right now. And I will end with this here. Let me pull this back up. Hold on. I want to, where are we here? Okay. On Nern. So this is on Nern. Here, we don't need to get started. If you go to focus the fire hose right up here at the top, you'll see that these are content based. These are not developer based bounties. So if you know how to make content, if you're interested in making content, you can jump right in. You can go whether it's about near intents or various near ecosystem projects. You jump in, you can see what they're looking for, what the kind of different setup it is. You can then submit right from here. You can see the different prices here, the different prizes here. And it's a really great opportunity to both contribute to the ecosystem and getting out there, as well as a nice opportunity to hopefully earn some money for all the stuff you're doing. So if you're out there posting anyways, if you're out there, you're interested in doing research on Near anyways, here's a great opportunity to kind of jump in and do that. And this is all on Nern, so it's nern.io. Let me put that back up here one more time for you so that you don't miss it. And this is open to anybody. Anyone can come and start to get going here. And if I were to sign up, it's really easy. I can just sign up with an email, or I already have a Google account. I can jump right in. I don't need to set up a whole wallet or anything else like that. It doesn't cost me anything to participate. It does not cost me anything to also become a sponsor. If I wanted to become a sponsor, all these opportunities are here as well. And again, we will absolutely help support you if you have any questions. There's also a little helper here in the corner that you can ask questions to as well and get started. So lots of great opportunities here in your ecosystem. I really feel excited about what's happening. It's been a nice swell of activity, hopefully leading into the rest of the year, where I think it's a good opportunity to keep building and see what you can do. I will leave it with this. Next week, we will be back. Actually, I take that back. So looking at the calendar, next week we may have a little bit different episode as it becomes a holiday weekend here in the United States, and that's where I am from. But I will post all those announcements as well as what we're going to do for next week. But following that, we will have some more guests on. We will have some more projects on. We will have more things that are being built. We will have more news for you. There is more absolute awesome alpha coming in the near ecosystem for developers. So just stay tuned for all of that. But until then, until next week, I'm your host, Joe, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye now.